Hello, LGBT.
So we're divas, and we go.
As soon as we got in there, like, no wonder my books at Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, look who it is. It's me. It's been a while. It's your man Beck, FTM, and I have kind of taken a hiatus from YouTube. Not because I don't love you guys, but just because I've been extremely busy. So, without further ado, it's me, and I'm back. And I'm sorry I left you guys for like 3 months. It's a long time. Love you guys. But yeah, I've been really busy. I've been meaning to put this video out, and if you guys liked my public figure page, I put out there that I was going to make my next video simply opening it up for you guys to ask questions. Q&A doesn't have to pertain to transition, although it could, or just any question at all under the sun and stars that you wanted to ask, and I would select a few and answer them. So without further ado, here it is, Q&A. Someone asked, how long was it until you started growing facial hair? It was a long time. It actually seemed like it was taking forever just to get a couple hairs here and there. And my facial hair is nowhere near what I want it to look like, but it's starting to come in. It's just patchy in certain areas. And there are guys that take, 6 months and they're rocking a whole beard. And then there's some that take 2, 3, 4+ years to get a significant amount of facial hair, and some really never get facial hair at all. It has a lot to do with your genes and so forth. But I have been reading up a lot online on how to stimulate hair growth. It is a myth that if you shave, it's going to come in thicker. If you shave, guys, you're actually stifling the follicles. If you're not drinking enough water, you're not having it go through your body to be able to nourish all of the follicles that need to produce facial hair. Keeping your face constantly cleansed is another big one, but you don't want to over dry it. I sound like I'm doing a fucking CoverGirl ad. This video is black and white, so it actually looks thicker than it really is. Although I'm having an issue trying to get the sideburns to connect a little bit, but as you can see, I do have some facial hair. This is pretty thick here. Having issues connecting a little bit here, but the mustache, you really can't see it, but it's starting to come in, and so I'm like, yay. And I really wanted to, that sounded really gay, didn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with the facial hair. Definitely passing. I just would like to rock a really close beard, but I can't really shave it close and get that stubble look when it's still patchy and very thin. So patience is a virtue. I need to shave. Fuck. Next question was, what was your biggest hurdle when you started your transition? And I think for most of us, it's coming out. Back in 1997, I came out as a lesbian, and then 2.5 years ago, I had to come out again to my family and friends. So essentially coming out twice to the same people. It's nerve-wracking. You don't know if you're going to lose family, lose friends. I have lost some family, maybe 1 or 2 people, but it's okay. I have my mother, my father, my sister, my best friend, and I'm good. But it was tough. I wrote an email. That's how I chose to do it. Wrote an email just stating how I felt, and at the end of the email, I made sure to tell them that I am open to their questions, if they had any. But I just wanted them to take some time to digest it all, because I didn't want my decision to transition to become an argument. I'm not going to argue about me. I'm not going to argue about what I decide, but I do respect that, if they had issues with it in the beginning, that it was going to take some work getting used to and communicating and things of that nature. But that was the biggest hurdle for me, was, are they going to stick around? Are they going to love me? Are they going to treat me differently? and I overcame that, and I am so blessed and proud to have such supportive family and friends to get over that hurdle. So if you guys are actually dealing with how to come out, there is a video on my channel. It's called What Trans Means for Me, and it basically sums up how I feel about being a trans man. And if you can't put the words together, show someone that video. It might help get out to them what you can't get out yourself. Okay, next question. Would you be willing to make a revamp of the FTM Old Spice video now that you are at a completely different stage of your transition? Because that would be epic as hell. The answer is maybe. Hello, LGBT. Alright, next question. If you and I were in an action comedy, what would be our catchphrase? Duh, loaded gun. But instead of guns, we would just run around with like big ass syringes full of testosterone. Next question. In the morning, when you look in the mirror, do you look at yourself and say, yeah, this is totally me? Or do you say something different? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most awesomest of them all? Yeah, that's right, you. Yeah, because it's totally me. I like the way I look. It's kind of like Men's Warehouse. You like the way you look. I guarantee it. All right, next question. Why is your sis so cool? Why is your sis so cool? Duh, because you're my sister and I love you. Next question. How do you feel when people use the term born in the wrong body to either describe themselves or someone who is transgendered? Is it insulting, and do you feel like you got the wrong body, or do you feel like it was meant to be this way for a reason? This question's got a lot of questions in it, so shame on you. I actually like this question, so we'll take it in pieces. How do I feel about people using the term born in the wrong body? Essentially, we are born in the wrong body. That's why we're transitioning. I don't find it insulting, to say the least, I don't find it insulting at all. Some people don't know how to take those who are transgender. They're very uneducated, so they'll use the term born in the wrong body. I mean, like, what else are you really going to say? So no, it's not insulting. I personally do feel like I was born in the wrong body, and I feel like it was meant to happen this way because I am a trans man, and I embrace being a trans man. If I wasn't born a female, I wouldn't be a trans man. I wouldn't be here sitting before you today to speak about my transition, to help others, to educate others. So I was born in the wrong body, and yes, I feel like it was meant to be because that's what makes me me. Next question. What is your stance on unicorns? Are you serious? What is your stance on unicorns? Next question. How do you feel about trans men using leftover testosterone or Rogaine on their faces? Whoever came up with that question is a genius. Here's how I feel about it. I have heard that using a little bit of leftover testosterone mixed in with some facial cream and putting it on your face, not bad. Rogaine, however, I was told not to use it. Now I know Chaz Bono used it, whatever, because I had this conversation with him when I met him at the Gender Odyssey conference at the private taping for his second half of the documentary. I made sure that I asked him, how do you have such lovely facial hair? And he did say Rogaine, but if you do some research on Rogaine, I hear that it's not good to be putting on your face, guys. So I don't know if you want to do that, Chaz Bono. All right, how old were you when you realized you were a boy? And was that realization like fear, relief, or both? I don't think I ever really came to a realization that I was a boy. I just knew I was a boy. It wasn't like, oh, hey, I'm a girl. And, oh, I woke up and I feel like a boy. I just always felt like a boy, but something in me felt like I was wrong for feeling like I was a boy because society saw me as female and I was born in a female body. But even though I was born in a female body and knew that, I still felt like I was a boy. So I didn't get a feeling of relief. I did get a feeling of fear because I knew I was a boy but looked different from the other boys. Um, I'm relieved now that I'm actually out, came to the realization of what being transgender was and the fact that I am a trans man. That's a really good question, by the way. Okay, someone asked me a question. Packers. What do you use to pack? Gotta pack. Gotta look natural, too. So I thought maybe I could just take this Batman slipper and just... yeah, okay. Alright. Looks natural. It's too big. What if I just take Green Lantern and Uncharted 2? Drop it on the floor. That was too big. So maybe I should just use Uncharted and Green Lantern and just... Maybe if I just put them together. That's fucking awkward. Okay, that's not gonna work. Maybe I'll just take this big-ass box from the Priority Mail. Yeah, chicks are gonna love this. Okay, truth be told, I don't pack. I never have. It just makes me feel artificial, if you will. I don't like waking up and taking one. There are great packers out there, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel the need to stick something in my pants. Um, I have gotten over that paranoia that people are looking at me. You know, I pass totally male, so I don't think that anyone's going to be looking for my package or a lack thereof. I can understand if you're wearing more form-fitting clothing, maybe you're wearing tight gym shorts and whatnot, or if you're going swimming, then maybe I could see why guys would want to do that, but I don't, because the little bit of growth that testosterone does provide is my package, if you will, and I'd rather just walk around being me. Next question. In a prior status on Facebook, you mentioned your mother asking you to remember to put the toilet seat down. I gotta know, what are your suggestions for someone wanting to learn to stand without using an STP device? Practice. It does depend on how badly you have to urinate, and it does depend on how much practice you have allowed yourself. Some guys can take a leak standing up without an STP device successfully better than others. For me, it's kind of 75, 25, 75% meaning I can actually go standing up without the use of an STP device. I have never used an STP device, to be perfectly honest with you guys. If I've got to go to the restroom, I'm either going to stand or I'm going to sit. I've kind of gotten over the paranoia where I think people are going to look under a bathroom stall, like at the mall or something, because I'm taking a leak and they're listening to me take the leak with my feet not facing the toilet. Completely got over that. There are a lot of cisgendered men that do sit down to go to the restroom. Hey, whatever you got to do, whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, as long as it hits the toilet. Next question, what is your favorite movie and why? I actually have two, and here's why. And I can sing high.
Jesus! They were real that day I wore a vest. Because that vest was disgusting. You can't sit with us!
You see what I did there?
Uh-huh.
That was underwear. I'll show you the bathing suit one again.
Next question, what are the things you hate in life and why? I'm a pretty loving guy. I try not to hate anything or anyone, but if I had to name a couple things that I hate, one would be binding, which is obvious. Most of us guys do not like binding, but it's kind of like a love-hate relationship going on. It's like you need to bind, but you can't stand that motherfucker. But if I had to name something else I hate, it would be probably sushi. Not a big sushi fan, guys and gals. I'll do a California roll all day. I just cannot get myself to do sushi. All right, next question. Do you think that people who are disabled and cannot afford to transition should? Well, if anyone, disabled or not, can't afford to transition, you shouldn't start. The last thing you want to do is make a commitment to starting the medical part of your transition, keeping up on blood work and hormones, and not be able to afford it. It's a very, very serious deal when it comes to making sure that your blood work is checked, every 6 months to a year, depending on how long you've been on hormones. And you want to make sure that you're able to supply yourself with your normal steady dose of testosterone. So don't start if you can't afford it. Now, if you are disabled and you can afford it, you're getting help or whatnot, do not let the fact that you are disabled stop you from transitioning. Okay? I know some of you guys who are actually disabled, and you are in the middle of your transitions. And I want to say big ups to you for doing it, okay? Because you guys are awesome. You guys are overcoming things on a daily basis, and you just prove to everyone that if you want to transition, you're going to do it. Love you guys. All right, we have 2 questions left. When do you think it's the right time to discuss starting your journey at work? I guess it just depends on how long you've been there. I know that when I go to interviews, most of the jobs that I interview with, they're going to do a background check, big companies and so forth. And I usually tell them in the interview, I did a video on this, I think, if it's still up on my channel. I let them know, hey, you guys are going to do a background check? Well, I want you to kind of make something easy for me to disclose, and it's to my discretion to tell you guys as the hiring managers and whatever, but it's to my discretion to disclose it to other employees. So if this could stay between us, I am transgendered, so my gender marker still says female. A lot of them get it. I'm in South Florida, so they get it. I have never had a problem coming out at an interview. If they are looking at you kind of cross-eyed, crooked, like you got 20 arms and stuff, I usually make a joke like, well, if you're familiar with Chaz Bono, yeah, it's kind of like that. And then, oh, okay, never had an issue. Now, if you are in the workplace and everyone has known you to be a female and you want to come out to everybody, then I would definitely ask if you could meet with HR and a few of the big wigs or whatever have you, your supervisor, assistant managers and whatnot. You have to really be wanting to come out and know that once you do, it may leak to other employees. You have to be okay with that. But you really have to own it. You have to want to be out at your workplace so you could feel free. I know a lot of you guys maybe are not out at work. Maybe you guys are going to start your transition and you're worried that the physical changes are going to out you, and they will. So there's really never a good time. It just depends on you, and it depends on, I guess, what your position stance is at your employer and how long you've been there. All right, last question. What do you feel like your biggest flaw as a boyfriend is? I hope this doesn't sound bad, but when girls cry, I know how to deal with it. I love to console them. Totally good with that. But when it's like over excessive, like the same topic, different days, I start to feel like, okay, I don't know how to deal with it anymore. Like, I thought I comforted you enough. But yeah, maybe I could work on that. Also, when girls when they get jelly, when they get jealous of other girls talking to me or whatnot, they start, going through that. Well, the head's nodding, maybe head roll, whatever. What's this all about? And well, and all that. I'm kind of like, well, like I don't know what to do. I don't intentionally try to make any girl jelly. The second part of the question, what do you feel like your biggest strength of a boyfriend is? I am loyal. I am not a cheat. I am too honest. So you don't have to worry about lying coming from me. I'm so honest that like when girls hit on me, like when I'm talking to someone, they're not even really my girlfriend, I'll still tell them, hey, and then maybe that's where the jealousy part comes in, but I'm just so honest that, I don't hide anything. So, yeah, there you have it. I'm a good friend too. Good friend, good confidant for sure. And yeah, among other things. Why won't we discuss that? Because it's rated R. Running time, 2 hours and 35 minutes. And thank you for calling Movie Phone. And there you have it, guys and gals, my first Q&A. If you have a question for me, feel free to look me up on Facebook. I have 2 pages. One is my public figure, and the other one is my personal. I only take questions on my public figure page. You can inbox me or put it right on the wall, and maybe I'll make another Q&A in the future. Hope your transitions are going well. Thank you to all the supporters. Love and light. Take care, and God bless. See you next time.